I know it's gorgeous here, right? The artistry of nature is always so beautiful. And even as Earth changes, of course, or our projection changes, there's still always beauty. Yes. The secret of self-activation. That's my topic. The secret of self-activation. And you know what it is? To always remember who you are and never forget. That means always remember your supreme Mother, Father, God, source, partners within, with you, that you're part of, and never forget. And that means to be in harmony with our divine nature. So always remember God, never forget God. Or, because the problem is using also the word God or any of the words, that's why you can never prove to anyone else what you know and realize spiritually. And only those who have had that and have that and know and what you're talking about or not talking about, know your experience. And what many people profess is the idea of having empathy. You don't need empathy, because that means you learn, take on their feelings and their emotions so you know what they feel. No, wrong. Compassion, because people then are suffering. But you don't need to go through every little aspect of suffering, unless you want to, because you're manufacturing it in your mind and making it real, believing those thoughts, believing those words, believing your beliefs as if actual, absolute truth, when they're just sounds and letters. The secret of self-activation is, instead of believing what you've been taught to believe, instead of following that, to always stay centered. And then you don't have problems anymore. You have opportunities. And in every moment is an opportunity. Who are you going to serve? The divine or your mind? Then you got to ask, where'd those thoughts come from? And why am I giving power to the mind and taking power from myself? Who has the mind, or the mind is operating through? Always remember who you are and never forget. And when we do that, we know we're never alone. And that wherever we are. I told you a story once. I had a friend who, well, not really a friend, but an acquaintance, and she and I were having dinner together. And she was telling me about what had happened to her once. And her husband had passed away, and they had both been in the armed services somehow. And she was, grieving for the loss of her husband, and she had to go up in this airplane and jump out of it with a parachute on. And this was part of the maneuvers. So there she is, and she's all in her misery and her suffering, of course, and her grief, and missing and loving, and some feeling sorry for herself and angry, had all of this stuff going on. So she jumps out of the airplane, and she pulls the ripcord. She's telling me this, sitting next to her body, and she said she pulled the ripcord, and it didn't open. And I said, "Oh my God, what did you think?" She thought, "This isn't good." So then she pulled the other ripcord for the second one, or however, and it was like a little balloon that was like this, nothing. I said, "Oh my gosh, what did you think then?" She said, "This really isn't good." And because she had been in spiritual teaching, she said, "I'm getting rid of all my resentment, all my anger, all my doubt, all my self-pity, God, I want to live. Save me." Immediately, a breeze came, blew her away from the asphalt landing strip below, and she fell feet first into like a swamp, a waterway swamp. Now, here she is underwater, and she's got this parachute around, the one that didn't open but is still all that. And she, to know even what was up or down in the water, because she didn't, she found a tree with her hands and knew the bigger part was in the bottom because she came up to the top. Now when she gets up to the top of the water, her friends are saying, get out of the water, get out of the water. And she goes, oh my God, I'm exhausted. She gets out, here comes an alligator. And guess what? And this was, she jumped out of the airplane over 10,000 feet up in the air. And she only had a little something wrong with her knee. You'd never even notice. And I go, whoa. Everybody's so quick to accept the verdict. Everybody's so quick to accept what other people say and what's happening and running in fear. And then just so frantically trying to live, to get the most out of every moment in the outer, when you're going to always be in the eternal. So when you always remember who you are and you never forget, which is the secret of self-activation, your source of all is with you. All knowledge, all wisdom, you draw from this, we're part of it, we're already unified. This just have to acknowledge it and transcend all of these bodily concepts and all of these kind of things that we've been allowing to control our emotions and our words and our thoughts and our actions. I know it's a huge test. If we did this to ourselves, whatever this is, some prize, let's just win the game. Now, we won. In fact, there are no losers. Real human, real divine, real loving beings. That is not a weakness. That's your greatest strength. And instead of worrying in your mind, turn to within. But you have to look at, are you living in harmony with the eternal agreement of don't kill? We have work to do, and that you could take baby steps, you could do whatever, but people will wonder, why is it, why do things run smoothly for some and not for others? Well, when you're truly in alignment with your divine self, by being that way, instead of being a monster, we care, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, thy mind, and my soul, and care for others as you would have them care for you. Not treat. That's got eat in it. It's not treat. It's care for. And how we do that, first of all, is to not intentionally ever cause distress to another living entity. Especially a child or anyone, not even especially a baby, an elderly, anything in a body. Come on. People are doing that. They're so pathetic and so sick. And what we need to do is we need to take care of ourselves, our children, our friends, and how we basically do that is your intention in whatever products you have, whatever work you do, whatever thought. Is this for the ultimate highest good of all? And that means that all can live in beauty and harmony and love and joy and compassion, because it's who we are. So you activate yourself, and you can go forth and accomplish anything. There are no impossibilities to you. And whatever has been, wherever you have, it's been before, soul search. Get right in tune. And then we're all in tune with each other. Yeah. We're singing the same song. And yet we're all singing it in our own way. And then you've got a variety. I mean, the beauty. Yeah. Activate yourself. Remember God within, your divine presence, and never forget. Consciously, in every moment, you're not living from the outside in. You're being who you are from the inside, expressing. All is possible to you.